Okay, I want to talk about a little thing because that is, you know, sometimes people, they're really sick or they're not well, and you know, they go somewhere to get better. They try to get better, and sometimes they you know, it's not possible to get better because of whatever circumstances. Not everybody can be healed from their ailments or from their sicknesses. And but the best thing, to my understanding, is what we can do is we can come into alignment while we're here. Okay, like I'm not talking about here, but in our life in general, that we come into a better alignment, and that alignment is to come into alignment with the greater force, whatever you want to call that. Okay, God, truth, or whatever you want to call it, Tao. Actually unnameable. But when we can do that, then we've done the best thing we can actually do for ourselves. Because when we come into alignment, then we get guided by the greater force. And the greater force knows exactly how to guide us in the right way for us to evolve and to grow properly. When we don't do that, then we're in our ego. And in our ego is always making choices that are have to do with insecurity or fear or worry, and those choices will always be the wrong choices because they'll bring you to more suffering, yeah, and more lessons actually. Whereas if we get guided by grace, it's much more in alignment with all of the nature and the universe. And that's a great force to have behind you, helping you, even if we have to go through sickness or whatever. Last time I was in the Philippines, I went to the faith healers, and I've had contact with the faith healers for quite so many years now, and that was one of my very big experiences in my life that helped really shift things for me in a big way. That was really maybe one of my first biggest shifts that I had. And it was interesting, the last time I was in the Philippines, maybe it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I spent about a week with one faith healer, and what they do is they put their hands in your body and then they pull things out, and they don't use knives, they just go into your, you could say, your spiritual body, and they pull things out. And one of the girls there that was there, she was one of the faith healers' devotees. She was from France, and she had a son with cancer, terminal cancer. And she brought the faith healer to France, and he treated her son. And basically, he said to her son, he said, I can't heal you. You have to have this cancer. It's part of your journey to have this cancer. But what I can do for you is I can take away your suffering, so that you won't suffer, that you won't have pain. So that's what he did for him. He took away his pain so he'd have a peaceful death, yeah, without pain and suffering. So sometimes it's necessary for us to go through whatever we have to go through. But if we're in alignment, again, grace can help us a lot, as that man helped the boy, so that his journey would be okay, that he wouldn't have to suffer through his cancer. Okay, would anybody else like to share something? Okay. Grace, when I speak about grace, I'm speaking about divine presence. Okay, so on my tree, if you look on my tree, there's all these people there that are basically the people that I have connection with on my spiritual journey. And they're all sort of transcendent beings, okay? They're just like realized beings. And you could say that they're the embodiment of God consciousness. And God consciousness is grace, divine presence. This class is run by divine presence. Okay, so you could say each one of these beings, their consciousness is in this class. And I've been touched personally by each one of these beings in my life, personally. I have personal connection to them. Either I met them physically or spiritually, and they touched me, and they showered their grace on me, basically. So that's really the essence of class, is this, which would mean that there's it's not about it's not personal. Whatever's personal, again, is has to do with ego. Now I see now, I realize Karen and Chris are not here. And Chris said to me yesterday when we were on the beach, they came to the beach, Chris said to me, you know, my body really likes class, but my mind hates it. And I said, well, that's your ego, right? Your mind is your ego, basically. And I said, yeah, your mind hates class because class is not about ego. So, of course, the ego is going to arise when it's not about it. So it's going to fight back. So, to understand or to experience something that is beyond our mind, beyond our intellect, is basically the place where you get to rest, which is the same as when you go to sleep and you have a good sleep. You're in your soul, you're in your being, you're not in your ego anymore. Yeah. So if you can't sleep, it's basically you're turning around in your mind. Yeah. And so, and again, the worst torture is no sleep. They keep you awake for whatever reason, and you can't go to sleep. That means you can't nourish your spirit, you can't nourish your soul. So would anybody else like to share about what you noticed yesterday or what you're conscious of? Yeah, Daniel.
While we were talking, I realized that many of the things that we talked about together on my page comes in the place that you said that it's not a lie. It's like, it's just basically overdoing. I take a lot of pride about working with my body throughout all the days, many years. And every day I have to connect to the place that I work right with my body, and also the place that it's painful. But since I was very young, I was always pain in my body. Just too much. How can I stop? I don't know how to stop. How to rest. I don't know. It's a question. How can I connect to a place that it's okay, just maybe not doing too much. Just try too hard.
Can't you do it without trying so hard?
I don't know a different way.
I mean, if we do a job, right? I can do it in many different ways. I can do it with tension, but I can also do it relaxed. No? I mean, do you do Tai Chi relaxed or do you do it with tension? Okay, so try to do it more. Yeah, okay. So this is, remember I told you when I was watching you, I said, okay, you're not allowing your body to make the movement. You're still holding it or controlling it. So that would be the thing, to try to I don't know, it sounds funny, but I'm going to say it anyhow. Try to relax and let the movements come out of relaxation. it's like a situation in life. If I keep focused on it all the time, I'm actually stopping the energy from moving. If I relax about it, it takes the tension away, and then it can breathe. So then something can move, something can happen. I mean, this is what this class is about. This class is about coming here and forgetting about yourself. The ego, the mind part, and this being here. And through the being here, things start to happen. I don't know, this is grace, like I told you. But that's the point we have to get to, is the point of not controlling and allowing. So when we can allow, something can move. If we don't allow, then we're keeping our perimeters the same all the time. It doesn't, this is the thing now, you know, the Tai Chi form is very interesting because it's based on non-doing. So even though I don't do something, if I relax, something happens. Okay? So it's a very deep philosophy, like the nature. It doesn't do anything, but something's happening with it. It's giving us nourishment. Yeah? We're the same. If we can deeply relax, we start to get nourishment.
I can do, like in my life, I can do the same thing just from a different point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's how to know how to relax when life is so intense.
Okay, remember,
The intensity is like,
you're right,
whoa.
but remember, this is the thing about what I talked about yesterday. Center point. Center point's not moving. Everything is moving around center point. You're not the life. Yeah, that means you put yourself on the outside of yourself. Life only exists because of you. No? So, come back to you, to experience you. Everything is a reflection of us. Everything that happens to us is a reflection of us. So, comes the question, what are you doing? What is happening in your life? Why does it happen? And what is your part in it, in making it happen? As I said, life is not there. It's only there because you're there. If you're not there, life is not there. So that means you play a very big role in it, no? So, like the plant or the nature, if we can learn to sit in our being, which is not our mind, because again, your mind is only a bundle of thoughts. Okay? And those thoughts are mainly based upon subjective ideas or subjective concepts. What you think is good, what you think is bad. What is right, what is wrong. But all those are subjective, they're not real. Because they have to do with your personal morality and how you were brought up, what religion you were taught, and what people told you. But it's not really who you are. Yeah. And at a certain point, we start to understand that and we start to look a bit further. And then comes the how do I say, the disillusionment, which is difficult for people. If you really want to grow, that's going to happen. You're going to have dissolution. Because life is an illusion. Many things are an illusion. Only what is real is something that doesn't change. And almost everything in life changes. But what remains the same? What doesn't change? Emptiness doesn't change. What's part of emptiness is peace. Peace doesn't change. Silence doesn't change. Love doesn't change. These are eternal things. But yet, we keep investing in things that change and identifying to the things that change. So we get taken away all the time. So the more you can sit and just be with yourself and feel yourself and not be taken away. When you do that, the first thing that is going to happen is your pain's going to come up and your illusion's going to come up and your tears will come up. So you can feel yourself. It's sad, but it's beautiful too. There's beauty in it. There's love in it. There's compassion in it.